to my channel. My name is Karina and I typically make videos about speech therapy. I am an SLPA that now works in a school setting, and this is my 4th year overall. About to be my 4th year being an SLPA. So I wanted to share with y'all how I choose to put students in either group therapy or group sessions or individual sessions. Now, I do think this comes down to 3 things, which for me is time, effort, and of course their progress, right? So but what I mean by time and effort, because they go hand in hand, is the effort and the time that you're spending putting together a group therapy session, right? For some people that might be planning ahead and making group-based therapy really intentional. Now, for me, for a 30-minute session, group-based therapy, I don't completely plan it. I pick a game and I go with the flow in that, because a lot of times the group-based sessions are also mixed sessions. So I can't target every single person's goal in one session. Or if I am trying to target every person's goal, I choose one goal from, their small card of goals or something. So that's for group-based therapy, right? I think you have to really consider the time that you are spending preparing for that group session. Now, for individual, there is still a lot of time that goes into planning that, because now that it's one person, you really have to look at their goals and you're going to be addressing more than one. Again, this depends on whether you do 1-hour sessions or 30-minute session, but I find that even in a 30-minute session, I get a lot done with one student in a small session, right? So I'm targeting more than just one goal. I'm not going to be working on, I'm not sure, maybe defining vocabulary words. I don't intend to work on one goal for the entire 30-minute session. I find that alternating it really works, which leads into my next thing, which is the effort. What effort are they putting into this session? For example, for a group therapy session, it may be that you find there's 2 in your group of 4 students that are doing more of the work, and the other 2 are kind of falling behind or don't get as much of a chance to speak. So that's what I mean by effort in that sense. If you're finding that 2 can't really work together because one's always interrupting or playing around, then I think that's when individual sessions becomes an option. In individual sessions, the effort that they're putting in is really high, right? And that's for everybody. Even if you're dealing with behaviors, it's very likely that either distracted or giving you bad behaviors, trying to avoid the task, it's very likely that their effort is still pretty high. Because it's just the therapist and the student, then that 30-minute session is going to be a lot harder for them, right? They're going to have to really work on their goals for you all to interact. So for me personally, what I have found, my very first year, I did try to group people based on their goals. And that really helped me for the individual sessions versus the grouped sessions. If I have a group of 4 kids working on articulation, then that very likely will work with a game, with me directly showing them the sounds on a dry erase board or whatever that looks like. For group-based, that worked. And also for individual, because my goals, for example, I might have somebody who's individual only working on fluency. He's the only person who stutters in the entire, I'm not sure, maybe 3rd grade group. So I might pull him aside and only work on him, because it's not likely that I'm going to get a lot done with him in a group session. So that's an option, to really look at their goals, your caseload, look at their goals, and then determine who needs an individual session, who gets a group therapy session. That was my first year. From my experience, it worked. Now, my second year, I did start grouping by their schedule. It was just what worked. Because I am in a school setting, I only get a certain amount of hours, right, to see these kids. And that's not including their lunchtime and their recess time, and then they have specials. So they have a set time for every grade level to do this, and I kind of went with that idea. Let's say student 1, I want to see at 9:30 in the morning, but at 9:30, he already has recess. I was going to say lunch. Let's say he already has recess. I don't want to ruin that student's day by going to recess and taking them out for speech. So I'm going to have to find a different time. So I found that my first year strategy, grouping by goals, did not work for my second year. My second year, I had to go based off of their schedules. And I also took in that mindset that I had my first year. I tried to group still by their goals, but I had to move people around. So if student number 2 was in an individual session my first year because he worked on fluency, then it just so happened that my second year, student number 2, still working on fluency, I had to push into a group therapy session because their schedule didn't allow for me to pull it for an individual session. Now, my 3rd year in the school setting, which is today, I do neither of those. I luckily have a smaller caseload, which I think is really important. You know, apply this if your caseload allows it, right? If you have a small enough caseload to get individual sessions in, I highly recommend it. And this year, that is the case for me. That hasn't always been the case. In year 1 and year 2, I could not really do that. So year 3, I am doing individual sessions, but because it's my 3rd year working with these students, my 3rd year, I'm able to really look at their progress and determine, okay, student number 1 has not progressed very much, and I've been seeing them for about 3 years now, or they're only getting this part down. I need them to get this other half of their goal down. So that's where the individual sessions come in for me this 3rd year. I'm able to really look at their progress because I've had them all this time. That's not something that everyone might have the advantage of doing, because if you're just starting out as an SLPA or you just got a job at a school district, then you're likely not going to know these people and their goals and their progress that they've made, right? But you can still look back at their paperwork. You can look, I'm sure there's a trail somewhere of their progress and how they've been doing. Look at that history of goals. You know, have they progressed? Have they gone down? Has there been an increase in stuttering, you know, concerns or something? So really considering their progress, I think, is for sure a key as well. I hope you all did find this video helpful, and if you did, please make sure to give my video a like and subscribe to my channel, as it'll mean so much to me. I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye.